Sometimes in music we need to get bleak. Now this mood might have been brought on by many things. Maybe a loved one has left you for someone more interesting and hygienic. Or maybe, to pick a completely random example here in May 2025, you're feeling very depressed about the results of some local council elections that recently took place in your country. Or whatever. The point is, you're feeling that the world has been behaving in a pretty shoddy way, and your music needs to reflect that. So, let me introduce you to the dark delights of the diminished scale. The diminished sound is sometimes referred to as one of the four primary colours of Western music, along with major, minor and augmented. Even though there are only three actual primary colours. The analogy isn't perfect, but basically it's a tonality you can use to create a very tense, very unstable mood. Chances are you might have come across some diminished triads, or maybe more likely some diminished seventh chords, which, if you're like a lot of guitarists, you will have learnt to play the intro to Ghost Town and that bit in a Muse song, and then just sack them off, not really knowing what to do with them. But there is a bit of a range of moods this kind of thing can provide. More about the chords later. Let's meet the actual scale. I'm going to be doing this in the key of A. So the diminished scale goes as follows. We have a root note, A. We have a second, B. We have a flat third, C. We have a fourth, D. We have a flat fifth, E flat. We have a flat sixth, F. We have a double flattened seventh, G flat. And we have a seventh, G sharp. And then back to A. Now, if you're into scales, there's probably a couple of things that have leapt out at you there. Firstly, there is no fifth, or no perfect fifth anyway. We would expect, typically, to have an E natural in there. The fifth provides a lot of stability within the scale. We only have the flat fifth, the E flat, which, as you can hear, stable it ain't. The other odd thing about this scale is that there are 8 different notes in it. Typically, your major scales, your minor scales, your modes have 7. This has 8 different notes. Which can be put to use in a variety of ways. Let's have a go. Okay, so first up, and as you might have guessed, the very dark, unstable nature of the diminished scale makes it really good for metal-style riffs. So if you're at rehearsal and your band start doing something frightening like this, the diminished scale can really help you out. So for our riff here, let's really lean into the dissonances in the scale. In particular, that flat fifth sound. We're going from the root note A up to that E flat. Something like that, and then on the way down we can do something that resembles your more typical minor scale or blues scale, so quite palatable to most rockers, hopefully. And then that major seventh, the regular seventh, can really give a little bit of classical drama to proceedings. So we've got a riff that goes something like this. See if I can make that work. scale is also very, very good for some of the darker moods in jazz. So my loop this time goes like this. Which is just moving between two chords. We have the A diminished 7 and the B diminished 7. Now the diminished 7 chord is extracted from the diminished scale by using every other note from within it. So for example, the A diminished 7 uses our root note, the A, and it uses the flat third, the C, the flat fifth, the E flat, and the double flattened seventh, the G flat. And with a chord like that, your safest bet is probably to play something arpeggio based over the top of it. So that's what I'm going to do here. Just kind of outline the chord like so. And then we're going to come back down the notes of the B diminished 7, which is the B, the D, the F, and the G sharp. So you notice we haven't gone outside the notes of our parent scale, the A diminished scale. Both of those chords are kind of extracted from within it. So we can go up the A diminished 7 arpeggio, and then back down B diminished 7. Let's give that a go. And we have a very kind of beginner level of what someone like John Scofield might do. And in fact, if you really want to go all out on the Scofield and give people the impression of falling down the stairs whilst on drugs, you could add quite a deep chorus effect to that as well. They don't call out for that sort of thing at weddings and birthday parties, but it was good for frightening away people in guitar shops. Okay, let's try one more. Alright, if you want to go a little bit further down Weird Avenue, let's try something with a little bit of fusion flavour. Something like this. Where we have another 2-chord vamp. This time we are moving between the A diminished chord and a D over F, which as a chord progression might strike you as slightly out of its tree, but remember we are just using notes from the A diminished scale. The A diminished chord, obviously we can get out of the A diminished scale, and the D over F, we have the notes F, A, D, and G flat. So you'll remember all those notes come from our parent scale of A diminished. And to have a bit of a jam over that, I'm going to use this slightly longer 2-octave shape for the diminished scale. And if we add a little touch of legato here and there, a very, very generous listener might even think you've got a touch of Alan Holdsworth about you. Let's give that a try. we go, a few different ways to get moody with the diminished scale. Really hope there was some stuff of interest there for you. Please consider liking, subscribing and commenting, etc. Thank you very much, and I'll see you with something else very soon. Cheers.
Thank you.